Hello, and welcome to this week's tips on using lists as a way to manage the type of content that you see on Twitter. So, what is a list? A list is a specially selected group of Twitter accounts. When you are on your home screen, and you can see here that I'm scrolling through, this is content that everyone that I follow is sharing, right? Or things that they are responding to. It's what they've retweeted, it's what they've tweeted, it's what they've commented on, right? So here's somebody I'm following, and here's the original tweet. Now, if you follow a lot of people, you may have difficulty like tracking certain content that you would like to keep track of. And so one way that you can sort of manage this is you can use lists to categorize people or content or just by topic, okay? So in your home screen, and you can see it on my computer, it's on the left, it says lists. And then on your screen, on your phone or your mobile device, it generally pops this side menu up by when you type your icon at the top left. You will see profile, lists, and topics. So if we click here on lists, you will see this account does not have any lists set up, and I'm not subscribing to any lists. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to subscribe to a list that someone else has already made. Now, the positives about this is you don't have to build your own list. The negatives is the negatives are that if that account decides to delete that list, then you would no longer have access to it. So we're going to go to the Dimcast account, and to see what type of list an account has, you would click on the three dots here to see what's available. And we're going to see different things pop up here. And so if I just want to see what list the Dimcast account has, then I'm going to go to View Lists. Now on your mobile device, it's a little harder to see. When you go to an account, that three dots is up in the right-hand corner of their banner or their header. And you would click on that or touch it with your finger and go to View Lists, okay? So here's a list of all of Dimcast's, here's all of their lists. So let's say that I have adopted Michigan as one of the states that I'm going to try to help flip in the next, by November. So because of that, I want to see what the Dimcast partners are in Michigan. I want to see what they're tweeting about. So when I go to this list, it will tell me right now there's 3 members on this list. And I can choose to then follow this list. When I do that, this list becomes available in my lists. So when I go back to my account, and I'm going to hit refresh, and now I see here are the lists. And when I go to this list, this is like my own little home screen, okay? And this is going to be everything that the people on this list have tweeted or retweeted, okay? So it's not necessarily only content coming directly from that account. It would be things that they had retweeted, all right? So that's the easiest way to use lists. And let's go back to the Dimcast lists. And since I've chosen to adopt Michigan, I'm going to look for the Flip Michigan Blue. And these are all of the focus candidates for the 2020 election in Michigan. So when I click on that, You can see there's 19 members here, 27 people following this list. I'm going to also follow it with this account. And then I will be able to see what these candidates are tweeting and retweeting about. Okay. And that is also a very quick and easy way to look at where we have adopted for our Focus 14, and I can easily follow someone from a list. I could go through and follow all of these people. Okay. All right, so since I've followed, I'm going to go back to my account. I'm going to hit a refresh. And now I'm going to see that I have 2 lists. If you end up having a lot of lists, you can actually pin them to the top. So let's say my priority is going to be the candidate one. And every day I can go in and I can look to see, you know, who's, let's see, there's a Facebook Live page on Monday. So maybe I want to share that. Here's interesting numbers about why these candidates can win. And here's a lot of the candidates here that won in November. So maybe I want to also share that. And when you're looking to promote or support a candidate, if the more interactions there are with the tweet itself, the more impressions and engagements are recorded by Twitter, and that means more people will actually see that. So if I comment, you know, that's so I'm just commenting on that. I could click on these. I could click on a link, like there's a link here. Any of those things and all of those things would help drive engagement about this tweet. Okay. So that is what it looks like when you go and subscribe to someone else's list. Okay. But the next thing that you can do with lists is you can make your own list. Okay. And you can, let's say, I'm going to say these are my favorite people. And you can give a description, you don't have to. And you can also make it a private list. So a private list is a list that people will not know that they are on. If you make a list a public list, the people who are added to that list will be notified that they were added to a list. If you are making a list of public figures, you know, reporters, news organizations, candidates, celebrities, you can make that a public list. If this is a list of your friends, or maybe people you don't know, but are not celebrities or just like favorite accounts that you've seen, then you're best to make it a private list. And no one can subscribe to your list. Nobody can even see that list or know that they're on it. So I'm going to make this a private list because I'm just going to list some of my people. And it may suggest members to you here. And I really don't know why these people are suggested, but if I go to members, there aren't any. And what I need to do then is I have to actually go to the person's account to add them to my list. So I'm going to click done, and I have this list. And now I'm going to go look for some people. So let's say I'm going to add some Dem cast members. And I'm going to go to their profile. I'm going to click those little three dots, and it could be up here in the banner again on mobile. And here I'm going to select add or remove from list. I'm going to click my favorite people and hit save. And now when I go back to my list and refresh, now my list right now is just what this one account is tweeting or retweeting. All right. And then from there on out, as I come across people that, you know, for this favorite people list that I want to add to the list, just when I see them, let's say on my home screen, I'm just, you know, scrolling through and I see, here's Barbara. So I'll go to Barbara and I will add her to my list of favorite people. Okay, so you can be constantly adding. I would recommend that you don't necessarily add, you know, hundreds of people to a list. It will dilute the content that you're looking at. Okay. The last thing I want to tell you is about how to see what list you are on and how to remove yourself. So when I'm in lists and I see the add list with this little plus, right next to it is those three dots. Those three dots always mean, you know, like more. So when I click on that, this is going to tell me what lists I'm on. And this is telling me this is a small little account that I haven't been added to any lists. So we'll actually go over to the Demcast account. And when I go into, as the Demcast account, I can see all of my lists. And at the top, I've got the three dots. And it's going to tell me what lists I'm on. So politics, organizations that want real change, media, people who, you know, just all of these are all lists that I'm on. So let's say I did not want to be on one of these lists. Let's say somebody added me to a list that said people who should be shot. Well, so when I go to that list, I have the option of getting off this list by blocking this person. When I block the owner of the list, it will automatically remove me from it. Now, let's say this is not a nefarious list, but you still don't want to be on one, then you could message the list owner and ask them to remove you instead of blocking them. Okay. All right. That is the basics of using lists, and I hope this has been helpful.